Black girl, where'd you sleep last night? Not even your mother knows. Black girl, where'd you sleep last night? Not even your mother knows. Black girl, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you go last night? I went to the pines, to my man in the mines, who works where the winds blow. In the pines, where the sun never shines, and you shiver the whole night through. In the pines, where the sun never shines, and you shiver the whole night through. Black girl, where'd you sleep last night? Not even your mother knows. I went to the pines, to my man in the mines, who works where the winds blow. In the pines, where the sun never shines, and you shiver the whole night through. In the pines, where the sun never shines, and you shiver the whole night through.
Why is it so hard for me to say something that's so basic about my life? I think that, I know, it's because it's the one thing I've been trying to do since I was, 16 years old. I made a decided effort to try to become a writer. When I was, before I was 19, it seemed as if I was going to be published by Houghton Mifflin for this novel that I'd written. And so I showed all this promise, and I thought, and everyone thought. But the long and short of it is that I didn't make it. Going to my mother's family in the mountains of North Carolina in the summers, that's when I fell in love with the mountains and the horses and the country. And And then in my early 20s in Cambridge, I started taking more serious writing lessons, English writing and jumping. And I did that all the way through all the years and back and forth in New Hampshire, New York State competition. In Mexico, I had horses. But you know, I had a life where, you know, enormous groups of people would envy me just because I was materially off. You know, didn't matter to them whether I was published or not, because I had horses out back and we could ride. They'd come to my house for big dinner parties, and you know, I had a wealthy life. But I would have, you know, I remember saying to some friends who were visiting us in Mexico, and I was saying to them in my house in Oaxaca, I was saying, if Random House, you know, I would work as a janitor in the Random House. I'd mop their floors and do anything, you know, and if they would publish my book, they wouldn't have to give me a cent. I wouldn't need a penny. I just wanted to publish. And she was so disgusted. She said, "What are you talking about? What do you mean you wouldn't want money for it?" You know? I said, "No." And she knew because she was also seeing, she was sitting at my place in Oaxaca and I had a big swimming pool and, you know, servants and stuff like that. And it pissed her off but that was the truth. You know, that's what I would want before I would die. And it was just right around the corner. And everybody who knew me agreed, my God, if anybody should be published, he should be. There again, my whole history as a writer, where when I was young, I was somebody who was expected to be, you know, hell's bells. But, you know, 40, 50 years went by and it's never happened, in other words. I could, you know, sit here and name like 10 names and you'd say, oh, he's full of crap, of famous writers who said I was wonderful. And you say, okay, and you're living in your car now, and you know, I mean, you must be a pathological liar, but I'm not. At the end of the line, that book, you know, that promise has not yet been realized. Probably really will be realized pretty soon, that this last book that I just finished, when I edited it up, that it'll be published. And you know, I don't know how, but I have a strong feeling just about because of my life. It's like I'm almost like a method actor, you know. When I sing a song, I go into the song. What they're getting out of me when they hear me sing, that's really the writer. I take on the song emotionally. So slowly, she got up. You know, and it would have made a big difference. That's in my life. In other words, with my family, my marriage, and you know what my status in life. In other words, my validity as a person was based off of the fact, well, this guy Roger, he may be nuts and ridiculous, but he really is a talented writer. You guys will see, and that'll kind of make up for all this, you know. There were books that were being published, and you know this in your own field. It's not about. I mean, there are people who are getting their contracts or whatever, and they're not half as good, not even an nth as good as some people who are never ever going to get their stuff. It's just fate.
Be good to Barbara Ellen.
Everything changed for me financially, and so I had no money and no way to make money, and except for my mother who gave me money, and so I'm just living in this on nothing. And this the music thing that's happened was an interruption because someone had wanted to, record me. I said, okay, well, if you're going to record me, let me try to, do the best of it with it I can. But to do that led me into a 5-year thing of really working these songs in a way, songs I'd been singing all my life, but I was doing it just sort of off my head. I had to study each song the way you study a poem. Now that it's up, okay, I can let it go. I got this new manager, things about to start. I can go back, I can edit this book, and get it all, so I can sit down to write the book of my life. Now that my mother has passed, well, I think I told you, my mother is but is the closest friend in my life. She's like my, less than just a mother, but more like my twin sister. It's like we grew up together.
If I had wings like Noah's dove, I'd fly up the river to the woman I love. Fare ye well.
There's nothing much to say except,
honey,
this guy, he's been writing all of his life, and now he's singing some music.